Hello everybody, welcome to Wild Boy Movies, the place to talk movies. And today, we're going to be reviewing Marvel Zombies, the long-awaited continuation from the What If episode where they tackled the Marvel Zombies storyline. Right now, I'm going to have some information up on screen for you to read, like network, how many episodes, the rating. All of that will be up on screen for you to read right now. But be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your thoughts on Marvel Zombies. But without further ado, let's get right into the pros. Alright, starting off, I gotta go ahead and praise Marvel Animation for allowing this 4-part series to be given a TVMA rating because they do not hold back on the blood and gore of Marvel Zombies. Sure, they held back on it in the What If episode because it was a TV-14 episode, but here in this full series, they decided, we're gonna let this be TVMA because, I really liked how they were able to go that far with some of the blood and gore in the series. And that's also something that I'm really liking that Marvel is going ahead and doing, is allowing more mature projects in terms of the violence to be even allowed for the MCU. I mean, we had the Echo series, Daredevil Born Again, and Deadpool and Wolverine, and this is another great addition for Marvel, leaning more into the more violent side of the Marvel Universe, that I'm hoping that we get a lot more rated R or TVMA projects within the MCU, because, the violence in here was just so much fun to watch. I also like the group of survivors that we got in this series. Now, we got some survivors that we have already seen in the MCU within like the past couple of months. Like we had Yelena Belova and Red Guardian in this series, which it was great to see them back in there with also their respective voice actors who played those characters in live action. But it was also great to see some characters that we haven't seen in quite a long time, like Shang-Chi. I really like that they brought in Shang-Chi into the series, especially since they brought back Simu Liu to voice Shang-Chi in the series. That holds me over from seeing him in Avengers Doomsday next December, and I'm still hoping for that Shang-Chi sequel. But honestly, the best character in this series has to be Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, played by Iman Vellani, because I do honestly think that she does yet another great job as the character of Miss Marvel, and I honestly think that Iman Vellani has got to be one of the best castings that we got in the MCU in this multiverse saga. Sure, Simu Liu was great and Florence Pugh was great, but Iman Vellani, from what we've seen of her in Miss Marvel and the Marvels, she does a great job in the role of Kamala Khan and makes that character a lot of fun to watch, and I'm glad that they were able to bring that energy into Kamala Khan in this post-apocalyptic zombie timeline. And I also like how they were able to include Blade in this series because, we have not gotten Blade, like, at all. And I'm not talking about, like, the appearance of Blade because we already got him in Deadpool and Wolverine, played by Wesley Snipes. I'm talking about the movie that was announced, like, 6 to 7 years ago. That movie has still not happened and does not have a release date at all. So it was great to also have Blade in the series as like holdover until we eventually get that Blade movie with Mahershala Ali. And even though Ali did not voice Blade in the series, Todd Williams, who does the voice for Blade in here, did a great job as Blade Knight in this series. And I did also like how they were able to combine the characters of Blade and Moon Knight into one character in the series, to where in this timeline, Blade was the apprentice of Khonshu, and I really like how they were able to adapt that in here. And Blade Knight's action sequences were awesome. Like, whenever we get that Blade movie, I'm hoping the action sequences match the same level of action that we saw Blade Knight perform in the Marvel Zombie series. And although this could have been a simple zombie apocalypse series where it could have been like these different zombies could have been the main villains. I liked how they went ahead and had one particular zombie be the main threat and villain for this overall series. And they decided to go with Zombie Wanda Maximoff, who they dubbed her in the series the Queen of the Dead. And I really liked how they were able to use Zombie Wanda in this series, especially with the voice acting of Elizabeth Olsen. She does a great job as Zombie Wanda, and yeah, they did a great job with the character of Zombie Wanda in the series and the overall mission and plan to expand like the zombie apocalypse. Like that was a very cool character, and I know a lot of Wanda fans are gonna be very satisfied with Zombie Wanda Maximoff in this series because there's like a whole fan base for the character of Scarlet Witch. And since this is a continuation from that What If episode, they had to address that cliffhanger ending to where Spider-Man, Ant-Man, and Black Panther were headed off to Wakanda with the Mind Stone to try to find a cure to where zombie Thanos is awaiting with all the other stones. I thought they handled that cliffhanger ending and continued on from that very well, and I also thought they respectfully used the character of T'Challa very well because unfortunately Chadwick Boseman did pass away, so he couldn't record any lines for Marvel Zombies. But I felt like that they handled the character of Black Panther very well in here, respectfully to the character. And yeah, and I did also like how they were able to play on Spider-Man narrating this because we had heard that Spider-Man would be narrating the scenes with Black Panther in it, and I was kind of like, how would they do it? But the way they go ahead and do it in this series, they did that very well, and I was very happy with the continuation from that moment, from the ending of What If Season 1 Episode 5, all the way now to this series. I also like how this series had a lot of suspense to where you are in the situation where the zombie army is coming towards our survivors and you're fearful on whether or not these survivors are going to make it out of the situation alive. I really like that, especially since they developed the characters very well. But honestly, the biggest pro I can give this series is that to me, this doesn't feel like a series. This feels like one movie cut into 4 episodes. Now, that might be because originally the plan was for Marvel Zombies to be a movie, probably one that would have gone straight to streaming, as per the people involved with the show revealed just recently. But the only reason that they decided not to go with a movie is because of Spider-Man. They wanted to include Spider-Man in here, and as you guys know, Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, and so it would be very difficult to include Spider-Man in an animated Marvel Zombies movie. So they decided to take that movie, split it into 4 episodes, and call it a series. Like, I feel like that the ending of one episode and the beginning of another episode is seemingly cut from one scene to another. Like, I definitely get the feeling that if you make some edits and cuts, you definitely could be able to combine this entire series into basically a 2-hour movie. But basically, whenever I rewatch this series, if I ever, I would basically binge watch all 4 episodes as if I was watching this as an actual movie. But really, overall, I found this to be a great and enjoyable series that I don't have that many cons for the series, at least as of me recording this video. Like, I can't think of any cons from the top of my head right now, but I just found this, again, great and enjoyable, and not only would I be down to watching this series again in the future, but also to see a potential second season, because they did tease a possible direction for a second season, and the people involved in the series have been saying that they have an idea for a season 2, but it really is up to Marvel and Disney to go ahead and greenlight a second season. That really is depending on how many people go ahead and watch the second season. If enough people watch it, then they'll be like, alright, we'll go ahead and give Marvel Zombies a second season. But either way, if this is just only one season, I am perfectly fine with that because it was just a great season to watch for the Marvel Zombies series. So for my scorecard, I'm gonna give Marvel Zombies 4 stars, with the score out of 10 being 8.5 out of 10, with the percentage being 85%, with a grade of B, with my final verdict being a great zombie and Marvel series. But that was my review for Marvel Zombies. I want to hear from you guys. What are you guys' thoughts on this series? Go ahead and leave your thoughts down in the comment section. And while you're at it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. And have a great day.